I kind of teased you last week and said, let's do a One's Gotta Go, the Poly, the Boardwalk, or the Grand Floridian, which I know are your three favorites.
I haven't slept in 7 days since you asked me that last week. I just think it's overrated. I get that people love it, and again, some people might like what I like, and that's totally fine. I mean, Bobby doesn't like what I like, and that's fine. I get it.
Why did we have this guy on again? I can't remember. Whatever, it's fine.
Because he's an ex, Bobby. Welcome, Walt Disney World fans, to another episode of the Notcast. As promised, our special guest Derek is here with us again. We're talking DVC, but kind of on the lighter side of things. We gave you all the information, the nuts and bolts last show. We're going to get to know Derek's favorite places, his pools, and kind of bounce those kind of ideas off of him for DVC this week. Alongside of Pat Neistat.
What's up?
Becky Wells.
Hey.
And Bobby Burchins.
I know you like to think your shit don't stink, but lean a little bit closer and you'll see the roses smell like woo woo woo
Woo woo woo. Yeah, the roses. Outcast. Bobby, I love when you stick with the Atlanta thing. That's in your. It's
in my blood. You know.
My name is Steve Rhodes, back on the show as I promised you guys. It's Mr. Derek DeBoer. Derek, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, it's good to be back. I'm kind of upset that Bobby just stole my opening song, but that's
Nice.
This is walk-up music if he was a baseball player. Yeah, I love it.
There we go. Roses is that's a class jam.
It is.
So, I mean, nobody would fault you for it. You guys can see Derek's information there on the screen. Also, a link to his email address and his show, World of DVC, is linked in the description. Derek, let's just jump in. You're an owner at the Boardwalk. I kind of teased you last week and said, let's do a One's Gotta Go, the Poly, the Boardwalk, or the Grand Floridian, which I know are your three favorites. Instead of One's Gotta Go, what do you have a favorite out of those cluster of hotels there?
I haven't slept in 7 days since you asked me that last question. So I need to put some context solution in
melted.
my some context solution.
All the tears.
None of them have to go. Just which one do you prefer?
Okay, so I just did, within the last month, I did a night at the Polynesian and I did a night at the Boardwalk just last week. I will still say, as much as I love the Boardwalk, and again, I love falling in love with it because it's been a while since I've been there before and I forget. Like sometimes doing what we do and do thousands of contracts a year, and sometimes it's just, here's a resort, it's Boardwalk, 200 points somebody bought or 100 points and you're awful excited about them. But for me to be able to go back after a couple of years of staying at the Boardwalk, with the exception of having some drinks with Becky last year out on the big porch patio, I fell in love with that Boardwalk again because I was like, God, there's no other place like it. Like at Disney, like at night, all the other resorts are awesome, but at night sometimes it can kind of shut down at like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and there's not much to do. The Boardwalk's got all the activities out there. It's got people playing bassoons and jugglers, and there's all kinds of stuff going on out there, which is just amazing. But still, I'm still going to say Polynesian. So Polynesian is, to me, it's the quintessential Disney resort. That if you took an alien from another planet, put him down there at the Polynesian pool, staring at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that's exactly. You're exactly right.
You're like, this is Disney World. This is like, you see the Magic Kingdom, you see the Contemporary, you see the monorail going about, you watch the fireworks from the beach, and it's kitschy, but that's the whole point. You're at Disney World. Like, you're not going to go to Disney World. I'm sorry. If you don't want some level of kitsch, if you don't want some level of cheese, if you don't want, it's not for you. Go stay at the Ritz-Carlton.
Six Flags.
Stay at like the Four
Seasons. Roller coasters at Six Flags.
That's what I keep being told.
So I'm saying Polynesian. So Polynesian, my favorite. I've never not.
My wife is gonna not. She's gonna be like, did you tell him to say that? Because that's literally my 1 and 2. Is the Poly and the Boardwalk.
It's a Northwest Indiana thing, my man.
Well, yeah. Go Valpo.
I personally think the Polynesian sucks, but
yeah, that's why you bought that.
Hold on, I've got to redo your contract right away.
I think you misspelled Saratoga Springs or Bay Lake Tower.
That's some money back.
Well, I think we've all done this before. I think we've all said our favorite resorts, but Bobby's. If you haven't watched this show ever, Bobby hates the Polynesian, so I'm sure. But if you had to pick a worst actual DVC resort, where would you go? Where would you say? Where would you not stay? Was there anywhere you wouldn't stay at?
Yeah.
Like, for real?
No, well, yeah, because I just don't want to use my points for it. Because, again, when you buy a DVC, you only have a limited number of points. So every trip counts, whether it's like 10 points or whether it's like 20 points. I used to probably, and I'm still going to say, as great as it is and an economical value and it's right near Disney Springs, I just don't have any desire to use points at Saratoga Springs. I know they've redone the rooms. I know the rooms are beautiful. And if you can somehow score a room right there in Congress Park that's like, I think it's Congress, that overlooks Disney
that's the closest
Spring,
one.
right,
Yeah.
the closest one to Disney Springs. So if you can guarantee that you get a room over there, it'd be fine. But to me, it just doesn't have that level of immersion that when I go to Disney, even though I'm 20 minutes away, I want to feel like I'm in a different world and I want to feel like I'm in a bubble. For me, some of those resorts, even Old Key West too, is kind of the same. As there's cars and parking and traffic, you know what I mean? And cars driving, like when I'm walking to the pool, I don't want to have to like dodge cars that are like people coming back from their trip or Disney buses. I want to go to a place like the Polynesian where you're in this beautiful tropical bubble and you don't see the outside world whatsoever. So I'm going to say, as nice as it is, Saratoga, I don't plan on using my points for anytime soon.
Now you're back in Bobby's good graces there.
I don't know if you mentioned Old Key West.
I only agree with him to one extent with the Poly, and that's Trader Sam's. Yes, that's the bubble that I want to get trapped in. Because it's tropical and there's lots of drinks, and I'm perfectly fine with that bubble, but get me outside of that one little 20 square foot bar, no, I want nothing to do with Poly.
Bro, there's tropical drinks all over the Polynesian. The pool, you can get the
Taboo
lapu
Lounge.
lapu upstairs.
There's no black lights and
Plus
batshit crazy stuff going on. So,
The lake view from the studios, I mean, it's hard to beat that.
You don't even need to buy the lake view.
But that
The
lake
standard
view,
at the Poly,
and the fireworks
unless you get the
at night.
parking lot view, you can see everything pretty much just fine.
I just had that Lakeview, Pat, and it was
Yeah, you got to share that picture
ridiculous.
with the lamps.
For us to know, just walk into that room, it was like a cartoon. And then we looked it up online because that's what we always like to do. Because we're always like, how much would it be if we didn't have DVC points?
Right.
That room that night was $780 for one night. Plus 12.5% tax. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, that's the great thing about DVC. I've had it forever, but I'm not going to tell my kids and say, you know what would be fun next week? Let's drive 20 minutes and spend $800 a night on a hotel room at the Polynesian.
And pay for parking.
And pay for parking and all that. You walk into that room and you see it, you're like, holy crap, there's some magic. Like, I could literally sit in bed and stare at the fireworks going off and stare at the Magic Kingdom
Right.
and see the
Yeah, that's
monorails going
incredible.
around. That's fantastic.
Can't do that at Saratoga Springs. But talking about Trader Sam's, what's your favorite bar at a DVC resort?
Oh, God.
Whichever one he's sitting at right there.
Whichever one doesn't look at me funny when I bring my own cooler in. Does that count? One of the best parts of being a local.
You know what? I
you bring
did
your
that at
cooler.
Animal Kingdom at the pool bar area. I didn't even say anything. They just
We've done the same.
I sat at the beach club and
I'm not
somebody
talking
had
about
brought
at the
a
pool.
cooler in.
I mean, I was at the bar.
The pool bar.
And they're just like, it's cool.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I feel like you had a backpack full of beer at Wilderness Lodge at the bar.
I do.
No one said anything.
That's true. Yeah, anything you can do to avoid those, $10 beer nights at Walt Disney World bars. I'd say I love the bar my least favorite is the pool bar at the boardwalk. I'm sorry, I just saw it when I was there the other day.
You've gone in
Not the Greek salad sandwich.
Greek salad sandwich?
I just walked by it last week, and I was like, oh, it just reminds me. I just don't like it. I just don't like how it looks, and the stripes on it, like candy striper stripes on the carousel, and all that. And so that's my
You talk about
favorite.
kitschy. It is kitschy.
I cannot wait till that boardwalk pool is redone. There is no pool on Disney
They just
property.
redid it.
yeah, they got
just
rid of the
repainted
cloud
it.
that vomits kids.
Yeah. Yeah, they got rid of that pool needs a massive. There's so much better pools on Disney property. Their kids area literally is 6 inches of water with like an elephant that like squirts like a tinkling thing.
And it's not supposed to be a pool.
Right, exactly. So yeah, that's my least favorite pool.
When I tell you guys at home that Greek salad sandwich, if you're at the boardwalk, just go to the pool bar and order it, and then tell me I'm wrong. You tell me I'm wrong. Shit's delicious.
He's got the table set up.
If I did this show last week, I probably would have walked by it and said, I hate that pool bar, but I gotta try that sandwich that Steve said, I guess. Hold on a second.
Next time you're there, man, I promise you. So is Boardwalk your least favorite pool?
Boardwalk is by far my least favorite pool. I mean, I'm not a big fan
Even over Bay Lake, wow.
Saratoga. I kind of like the Bay Lake pool.
What?
I mean, I kind of like the glass block slide on it. You know, it's
I guess
it's not.
You get a view of the lake. But...
Yeah, right. You got the view of the lake. You feel like you're still in it. The Wilderness Lodge pool or Copper Creek, whatever it is. It used to be. It feels like it was such a bigger pool. Now it seems so much smaller. I think because I think now you've got. Yeah, so it just seems a little. Animal Kingdom pool is amazing, and I mean the main one, the Jumbo House pool, the main pool. I do not like the Kidani Village pool. Whatsoever.
I like Kidani.
Becky and Steve like Kidani.
I don't like.
Well, I like the Jumbo pool is just boring, but it's quiet and nice. But the Kidani pool, I mean, Josh had that slide rocking. Everybody was having so much fun, and I just sat there with my drink and had a great time. So
they let me bring a backpack of beer to the bar. I mean, how can I not like it?
All of the bartenders are like, "There's that guy. Yeah, he brings his own drinks to the bar."
None of them work there anymore, JPEG. None of them work there anymore. They all left. This was ages ago. Yeah. So, yeah.
I bet I know your favorite.
Huh?
Yeah,
I have a guess.
Your favorite bar?
I have a guess because I also
I also
bet that you can't remember the name of it.
Where? Guess.
Cruise Cup Lounge.
That's my favorite bar.
And you forgot it, didn't you?
No.
That's your favorite bar at Beach Club?
Because it seems to be open sometimes and then it's closed and it's the area that's right next to Yachtsman Steakhouse. It's this tiny little, and I keep thinking, when I think of bar, I think a lot of time like pool bar and stuff, but Becky's 100% right. Cruise Cup Lounge used to be like the best secret on Disney property because they used to open up at like 11 in the morning. They have amazing food, big schooners of beer that they chill, so they've got ice around them. Good prices. The food now is insanely good. It's small, so it's one of those places where you got to figure out the right time to go. There are only like 3 or 4 booths and maybe some tables, but the food is incredible. They've got prime rib sliders that are literally the best item of food I've ever put in my mouth in all of Walt Disney World.
Really?
They're incredible. So yeah.
I remember when that used to be like, people in the message boards would talk in code about Cruise Cup because they didn't want the secret to get out for all the lay people.
It's so true. And we used to go there and sit, like years ago, we got married at Disney in 1996. And we used to go there a couple of years and then before we had kids. That place was always we're going to go to Epcot in the morning and we're going to head back because we always stayed at the boardwalk back then. And we're going to head back to Cruise Cup Lounge and we'd stay there for a couple hours. And, it gets a little busier at night just because people that are going to Yachtsman Steakhouse then tend to go there. Mm-hmm. But man, it's such a little gem of a secret. It's just impossible to tell when it's open and when it's closed. I've sent people there and they're like, "Why'd you send me there? That place was closed." I'm like, I don't know when they're going to open or close. But yeah, Becky's 100% right. 50 free Vacation Club points for Miss Becky Wells. Good job, Becky.
She's just doling out
from your secret
DVC
stash
points
of the boardwalk. He's transferring those
to
tomorrow.
I'm typing a note to my boss right now. Listen, I need a favor.
He's going to be like, no. I can't do the Mississippi drawl, but no.
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I haven't been over to Cruise Cup in ages, but I gotta get over there.
I don't think I've ever been.
I'm always over.
I stayed at Beach Club before. I haven't been, but
you can walk right by it. I mean, literally, you walk right by it. You don't even really know it's there, and it's right next to the bathroom. So a lot of people just walk right by it. Just go up a couple of wooden steps.
What's the other bar there? Martha's Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's
or-
Vineyard. Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
my
that's
God.
not like a real
Yeah.
place. No,
That's worse.
awful. Yeah, no, it's
Walk over to Boardwalk, go to
that
Abracadabra.
place has been like 84
That's the-
different
that's the
names.
other bar at Beach Club.
That's
Abracadabra.
the worst.
The other bar at Beach Club is at Abracadabra over at Boardwalk. That's the other bar. There's no other reason to go to Beach Club for food, really. I mean, Yachtsman's. Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously get the kitchen sink over at
Right.
Yeah, lest we forget about beaches.
Peaches and
ice cream
cream.
shop.
Beach cheese tots, though.
Yes. So am I guessing right that Beach Club is going to be your favorite pool?
Actually, no. It's the Polynesian is my favorite pool. I love the Polynesian pool. And when I say pool, I say two pools because I love the Polynesian quiet pool. Most resorts are going to have their main
It is
activity
awesome.
pool.
Yeah.
Then they've got a quiet pool. That quiet pool at the Poly is awesome. And yet you don't have the...
And there's a
yeah,
bar.
they've got a great bar. They've
Yeah.
got great food. It's never that crowded.
And you can still see.
Especially during the day. It's honestly,
Yeah.
it's never that crowded. So sometimes when that main Poly pool can get a little nuts, it still doesn't get nuts as Beach Club can. So to me, as great as Beach Club can, when you're in it, it's still a little tight and it's still a little manic for me. So I love that pool, but Poly to me has everything. Great quiet pool, great big giant main pool.
See, I would have said the same thing about Old Key West because I think is it the Turtle Shack pool?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of the exact same way where they have their own bar and a little quick service restaurant and everything like that. I like
That
that
little
quiet
turtle
pool.
crawl area. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
a great pool.
It just doesn't have the sauna, which is fine for except for this time of year when it's freezing outside. All right, Derek, what is the most decidedly average of all the DVC resorts that you've stayed at? Like, not the best, not the worst, but like just
Yeah.
right there in the middle.
That's a great question.
It's awesome.
Saratoga Springs. Saratoga to me. Yeah.
That
the
was
worst.
the
I thought that was the worst. So
So if you ain't first
Wow,
or
we're
last,
selling
it's
a
all
ton of
Derek just said
Saratoga
right there.
contracts after this show.
Sorry, folks that own it to Saratoga. I meant to say
This is Derek's
that $120
personal,
$120 a point is a great deal.
personal opinion only. My personal opinion only.
Yes.
Because again, it kind of goes back to like, yes, the new rooms make it super, super nice at Saratoga. I'm just not a fan of that kind of layout. That's so spread out that if they hand you a map, they almost have to like staple two together because your room is like all the way over here. Well, that's
Printed on
Disney
legal
Springs,
paper.
right? Yeah, there's
Yeah.
3 buses that'll take you to come all the way to, and let alone resorts like that, which again are great. Old Key West, Saratoga. But if you're at the mercy of those Disney buses, depending on where you're staying, it
Yeah.
can make or break
Like
a
an
big
internal
part of
busing.
your trip. Because sometimes you just want to get out, and most importantly, after that day is done, you just want to get back home, and you're like, oh my God, we're the last bus stop out of like 8 different stops to stop at. So
yeah, but see, then you get dropped
Then you
off
had
right by
transfer.
the room. You don't have to walk the 20 feet to the door. That's great.
yeah, but it's taking like 45 minutes while you're in the resort.
But
to
you're
just
sitting
get back
down
to
at
your room.
least, There's just, as an expert on trying to avoid exercise, Derek, I can assure you, sitting down is much better than having to walk it.
So Derek,
That's what-
you gave us
yeah.
your
Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
least favorite. You gave us our average, which were the same ones. But what's the most overrated DVC resort?
Ooh.
Overrated?
Yeah,
Oh, please say the same
Okay,
thing.
I think. Okay, so I'm going to go with Saratoga Springs. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go with Bay Lake Tower. Bay Lake Tower.
Yeah.
As great as the location is for Bay Lake Tower,
Amazing.
I get it. I walk into that place and I feel like I'm in like a hospital. I feel it's so cold. It's like clinical
That's a
and it's
good-
cold and it's empty and it's sparse. And I know it's supposed to be, it's the futuristic and hotel of the future, but I just don't like that feel of it when I'm there.
There is
So
no
I think
feel.
it's very overrated. Yeah, there's just no feeling there. Like, again, it's all about the location. Because if you can walk to the Magic Kingdom, you can. Yeah, but do you like your room? Like, yeah, but you can walk to the Magic Kingdom. Okay,
I
get
felt
you can
like I
walk to
was
the Magic
living.
Location
I
is
felt
a
like I
lot.
was living in Fraser's building.
It's the
Location means a
airport
lot, though.
hospital hotel.
Where, Bobby?
I felt like I was living in Fraser's building the one time that I stayed there. So I didn't.
Right? It is. Yeah, that one to me, and I don't like the decor of the rooms. I've said this before on many shows. I just think it's overrated. I get that people love it, and again, some people might like what I like, and that's totally fine. I mean, Bobby doesn't like what I like, and that's fine. I get it. But Bay Lake Tower, most overrated.
Why do we have this guy on again? I can't remember. Whatever, it's fine.
Because he's an expert, Bobby.
Because he's doling out free points like candy.
Yeah, apparently. I'm not getting any of them, so,
He's freaking hilarious. Yours just costs air conditioning. It'll be fine.
So for location, you mentioned location. It's a great location. What is the DVC resort that has the best location on property?
I think
physical location.
Boy, okay, so I'm gonna say Polynesian. I know I keep going back to the Poly, but Poly.
100%.
Okay, well, no matter where you stay, you could walk to the TTC, so you have access to the Epcot monorail.
Yes.
You could take a boat to the Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could actually, if you felt up for it, you could walk to the Magic Kingdom because the Grand Floridian path is open. You can take the monorail. Again, as
Nobody's
great as
walking,
Boardwalk,
except Steve.
I would totally walk that. Yeah, it does not bother me. Yeah.
So I think as much as I would like to normally say, like, oh, Boardwalk and Beach Club, those are great.
So
if
how do
you're
you
going
get to how do you get to
Epcot.
Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom? Uber?
You wait till 2:00. You walk through Epcot and get on the boat. And everybody, even if you're staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, you got to bus to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
So that one's out the window.
Exactly. So yeah, which Boardwalk and Beach Club are awesome, but you have Epcot, which is fantastic. But even walking to the studios, I think the walk from Boardwalk and Beach Club to the studios is what, like a mile and a.
Yeah, it's a long walk.
9 minutes.
This is not 9 minutes.
I would never walk it.
It's like
It is
15.
9 minutes.
It's like a mile.
It is 9 minutes.
I feel
It's a
like
mile.
9 minutes to get to my
Maybe
room
if
at
you're
the Boardwalk.
ex-military and you walk at
running.
45
I'm
miles
not
per
going
hour.
to run. I'm not running to Hollywood Studios.
For the rest of us, it's 15 minutes minimum.
We said walk, Becky,
At
not
least
run.
3 of us are really tall. 9 minutes is doable.
9 minutes, she's dragging her kids behind her. Come on, you're
Can't
pulling
get there
a
in 9
12-minute
minutes in the
mile.
car.
Well, no, because you have to drive all around and go
but
through
in fairness, you could
turnstiles.
Skyliner or boat there too, just as easily. So, well, not just as easily at the Skyliner
You
because of the
could.
connection point, but the boat, it's
Yeah.
pretty
I-
reasonable. So, I love both Epcot and Magic Kingdom area resorts just for location because of that monorail that connects the two of them, and then the ability to walk or boat to the resorts. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Derek, you've watched us maybe forcibly since probably our inception because I just send you lots of texts to say, watch me.
Uh-oh, I can't see it.
We are funny. No, I want to know what questions you have for us. You've been waiting so long to
oh yeah.
I would want to know if you guys, in doing the show, because I've done a few shows from time to time, I know how much work is involved and work that goes in to doing them. What, for just each of you, like, what is the thing that you look forward to the most about doing this show? Like, what is it? Because you guys are obviously naturally friends, but is it, I like to just give my opinion, or I like to interact with my friends?
So
and
I like
coworkers, or
the fact that Steve does the editing and I don't have to do anything.
all the work that you mentioned, that's
Yeah.
all Steve.
Hey, I have to edit my own videos. I don't have time
You're
for
not
this.
wrong.
Steve's out here editing this, my podcast, all sorts of other shit.
But he edited a video.
I mentioned that I went to Valpo. I went there for
I was
communication.
gonna say, he edited a
so,
video
yeah,
for hospitals, so
Yeah.
he's got the experience.
Yeah, but in your hometown of Munster, that was the voiceover for the discharge video of that hospital from the early 2000s. I think I told you that off camera. So that's my background. That's why I enjoy
Delicious
doing this.
cheese,
And then
obviously.
yeah, that's the Munster we're talking. Spelled completely different. Yeah, it's just MU and MUN, not MUE. Yeah, but
Munster.
anyway, yeah. I think for me, it's just Disney. I mean, I've been going since I was 5 years old. Date myself back to 1987 when first went to the Contemporary and then subsequently stayed at the Polynesian pretty much every trip, every single year of my life until I was an adult. There's pictures of me splashing around in the lagoon there at the Poly when you could still.
There's an
swim
alligator
legs.
lurking in the background.
Me and my little
waiting
brother.
to pounce on him, but They edited that out with Photoshop years ago.
No, they shoot they shoot away all the clocks back then. So, it's just been in my it's been in my blood since I was a kid. So for me, this is just kind of what I love doing. I know Becky and Bobby, you guys kind of came into this. Well, Bobby, you started as a kid. Becky, you as an adult didn't go until you were an adult, right?
Yeah, the first time was our honeymoon in 2004. So that's the first time I ever did anything with Disney. And
she bit hard into that.
And then we actually had a really big gap, too. It took a while, though, before we went back, because I didn't live in this country, so it was not a priority. But, yeah, in the last, 8 years, I would have to sit down and think about how many times I've been fortunate enough to go. So it's it's awesome. It's kind of... my husband kicks me out of the house once, twice a year to go do something that's not with anybody else from our house. So why not do Disney? But it's, I've known Pat's wife since we were kids. And so that's how I kind of fell into that. And I look forward to it because I can do real talk about something that I love, but it doesn't mean that I always love all of it.
Yeah, for me, it's absolutely the expression of the jokes and everything like that. One of the first times that I went, Derek, I literally got lost and was found by Captain Hook. So I was a lost boy that was found by Captain Hook.
Oh, God.
I mean, that's a true story. Yeah.
This is a true story, though. So I mean,
is it really true? It's not.
Yeah, no, seriously. Not only is that true, what happened after that is I became a leash
man that
child.
called himself Captain Hook.
Yeah,
Oh, you were leashed?
What?
Yeah, I was leashed after that because I ran away. Of course, I ran apparently to Captain Hook.
You remember in the 90s with the kids on the leashes?
I was one of them.
Yeah,
so it explains a lot as to why I am the way that I am.
It's a runner.
But yeah, it's the expression of being able to make fun of something that you love, because I feel like that's especially the amongst men in particular, that's the truest form of expression of affection is making fun of something. And so that's how I tend to view it. I know most people think of it as me hating it, which is fine. But to me, I love also picking out the random stupid shit that I see inside the parks and just asking the question why. So that's my favorite part about it.
You guys at home should go check out Bobby's podcast. The episode's called The Paddlefish Ponderance. It's anywhere you podcast, Spotify, Apple, Google. Bobby gets into some contemplation about his love or lack thereof of Disney and his basically his love of the park. So some deeper dive into that. So check that out on his podcast. He kind of gets off into that.
But that's the kind of stuff, and that's why I love the show. And truly, when Becky first told me about it, I used to read articles that Becky used to write, and then the show started, watching the show, and then I just fell in love with it because there's a billion shows out there. But I think what I love about this one, and I mean this, I'm not just saying this, is that I mean it, is that because you're
now that you're finally on it,
I made it. Is that you're talking like people talk. Sometimes a lot of shows you might watch is they're afraid to say what they really feel because they don't want to offend anyone, or they don't want to offend the true lovers, or they don't want to take the pixie dust away, or anything like that. With here, I think, like Bobby said, which is just the perfect point, sometimes you have to kind of tease and you have to bring up things that you don't like about something that you truly do love. And we all have a passion for Disney, but there's nothing wrong with us pointing out stuff, saying, this meal was terrible, it's not what I like, or this service wasn't as great, or this or that. That doesn't mean you don't like Disney. It means you care enough about it.
Skyliners are hanging death trap.
Right.
So Eric, I think you hit our show on the head. I mean, when Steve came up with the idea, that was kind of our thought process, is that we just want to be real and talk how people talk. So
right. And that's just it, is that people do this, maybe not on social media because they're afraid that they're going to get pounced on or whatever. But when friends are with friends, and if they love something, if they're talking about sports, or they're talking about people talking about Disney that love Disney, they don't all sit and talk about how everything was great. They're going to bring up stuff that they didn't like about their trip, or the things that they wished that they would have had happen that didn't. So that's why I think it's great, and that's why I'm doling out so many points tonight to everyone but Bobby. So yeah,
hey, you didn't give me any points. I had to pay for mine.
Thanks for the compliment.
Well deserved, I suppose.
You don't even have them yet.
Your contract's got to close first, Pat.
We appreciate that's coming through. We appreciate that that's coming through to you on camera. Hopefully, to all you viewers at home as well, and you're sticking with us and smacking that subscribe and like and telling your friends. We love you guys being here with us along this journey that we call the Notcast. So, speaking of not loving things, I got to ask you one question. Quick question here. Genie Plus, Lightning Lane, are you into that? Or is that...
I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Genie Plus mixed with a stay at Saratoga Springs.
With a one-nighter at Bay Lake to start it off?
No, I'm not a fan. It just makes me mad. I just hate it. I miss the days, and again, being a local, that when you could just go online with your annual passes or whatever it is you have, where you could book and say, I want to go to the Magic Kingdom next week. I want to pick a day. What day do you want to go? We know we can at least go online and book 3 rides. So you knew at least you had 3, right? Or you're going to Epcot and go, let's book Spaceship Earth, let's book Soarin', and let's book something else. Here, when we went for the last time for the first time, honestly, in quite a while, it was like, well, wait a second. So we're basically just at the mercy of the standby line, unless we decide to pay for this, or if we want to pay on top of this, or whatever. And it just felt like I'm looking around the parks, and it had a different feel, which it didn't have before. It had a feel of everybody was this. Everybody was more than you normally see, because they're literally on their phones trying to figure out, and parents are like, do we have $90 to afford Ratatouille right now? I don't know if we do or not. And you're going through that, whereas the old days,
don't pay for Ratatouille.
I don't care how much money you make. Don't try to afford
was an hour long on last Friday. And I was like,
get 3 beers instead.
Much better. I was like, I'm not waiting. But yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. I miss the old
beers.
Fast passes, for sure.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we do this show, because we can make fun of stuff like that.
Yes.
Because we still love the parks, but not everything. And I love how you sum that up for us. But let's end it on a positive note. What is your favorite festival?
I just came back from the Arts Festival. I think that one is incredibly underrated in terms of festivals. I think all the love always goes out to Food and Wine Festival, and I get it, because there's a ton of food and there's a ton of wine. The Arts Festival, when you think about it, they got amazing art. I'll have to take a picture. We bought some stuff. It's got great art. It's got not just Disney art, but there's obviously a lot of Marvel and Pixar and all that stuff. It's got food booths, not as many as like Food and Wine. It's got great entertainment for people that like to watch I think it was Broadway performers were singing the Disney songs, which again, you could just happen to be walking by the America Pavilion and at least hear it in the background. So it's got that festival feel. It just doesn't have the madness of Food and Wine Festival, which I feel is a little overrated. God, it's just
Plus
crazy.
The weather.
And the weather. Yeah, we had great weather. It was milder, so yeah.
We'll just say
that's the one my family usually goes to. We love Festival of the Arts. That's our time frame. We'll travel with the kids, so they love it, and they're all kind of artsy anyway. So Epcot's their favorite park.
And there's so much unique stuff too, like in and around. And there's even not as many whole Future World part of the park. There's all kinds of interactive art stuff for like kids to do and families to do, and chalk artists and chalk drawings and stuff. So yeah, I think Food and Wine always gets all the love, and rightfully so. But I love the Arts Festival.
There you go, folks. Check out the Festival of the Arts at Epcot. Derek.
Tell them Derek sent you.
Festival.
Derek,
tell him when you show up at the gate. I'm here because
see if you get some points.
Derek, Hashtag Derek the Board.
I forgot about that.
Derek, thanks again.
It's been so long.
Thanks again for joining us this week and last week on the show. Your knowledge of DVC and just your love of the parks coming through.
My pleasure. Love it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys can find all of Derek's contact information linked down below, so go ahead and email him. If you guys want to buy DVC or just have questions, hit him up. His email is down there along with his show, World of DVC, that he shows up on time to time over there. Here on YouTube. While you are down there in the description, scroll a little bit lower, leave us a comment, let us know what you like about Walt Disney World's DVC offerings, and hit subscribe. That It really does help out the show here on Not Club 33. And smack that bell notification so you know when we upload videos. If you like the video, consider hitting like. You should do that just for Derek being on the show. Smack the like. It lets YouTube know that this was a good video, so more people should see it. And don't forget to join us next time on another Notcast, Friday, 4 p.m. Magic Kingdom time, right here on YouTube. Peace out, y'all. And don't forget to join us next time on another Notcast, Friday, 4 p.m. Magic Kingdom time, right here on YouTube. Peace out, y'all.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. We're out of here, y'all.